Hello, beautiful people. Welcome back to Sadeja Unscripted, and it's me, Sadeja. Thanks for stopping by and clicking play. And if you're new here, hey, I hope y'all enjoy this video just as much as I enjoy making it. So as you can see from the title, today we'll be talking about setting our quarter four goals, setting our fourth quarter goals and making sure that we execute them and how we can do that. And I think that this is going to be a fun conversation, especially for me, just because I know what I need to work on and I know I'm not perfect. So the fact that I'm pretty sure a lot of us are in the same boat with certain things. I feel like this conversation will be just a little bit more raw, more than me telling you what to do, because I don't necessarily have that authority in this given moment. However, being able to tell you what I figured out and what I plan on doing so that we can hold each other accountable and see if it works for one another and see if it does help us end off the year strong. So y'all know me, when I talk about things like this, I like to make sure that I have my notes in front of me because I get distracted real fast. And I don't want to do that. I want to just be able to have this conversation and be 110% just into it, focus, and just getting the point across. All right. So before we even start, can y'all believe that we are already in the fourth quarter? Like, I'm having a conversation about fourth quarter goals. I remember having a conversation about my first quarter goals that I did not achieve. We'll talk about that later. But just knowing that I missed the second quarter check-in and now we're actually at fourth quarter is absolutely insane to me. All right, like, it's just too crazy. So with that being said, I'm actually really, really excited because we're going to end off this year strong. You, me, and everybody else. Like, we're going to do what we have to do. And with God by our side, what I mean when I say that is, before you can set any goals, you need to look at the goals that you previously set and see if, one, you were able to complete them. What was the hardest goal to complete? What are some things you need to work on? And just understanding where you are momentum wise, if that makes sense. So what I mean by that is just basically making sure that we are reflecting on the past 9 months and just ask ourselves these uneasy questions, because that's what I had to do. I had to figure out why I'm not where I was supposed to be. Why isn't my year as strong? Is there anything that I could have changed to make it better? Or is there anything that I could have just done differently to at least keep the momentum going? So those are some of the questions that you want to make sure that you ask yourself. And I understand that, like, the reflection part of it is the hardest part because you have to be honest with yourself. And sometimes that hurts because a lot of it is usually just excuses. And just to know that looking back at those excuses and then looking at where we're at right now and the fact that this year went by so fast is absolutely insane. It's a hard thing to do. I do a lot of reflecting. I do it every morning. I have a book that talks about, I think I showed y'all this in one of my episodes. But this book right here, The Powerful Affirmations, it also has reflections in it. So I'm always reflecting. So I think I've gotten pretty good with it to know what I need to work on, what worked, what didn't work, and just moving forward. So before we could set any goals, that's what you need to do. After you do your reflecting and you figure out what's the problem, you now want to actually set those goals. However, you want to set achievable goals. You're not going to just say, I want to make $1 million by December 31st, 2024. That's not going to work. Or you just want your business to grow. Nah, like, how you going to do that? Grow by what? You need numbers, you need data, you need metrics. So you need to figure out, how am I going to grow? What am I going to do? Like, you have to get down to the nitty gritty in order for you to achieve that goal. Okay? Like, that's in order for you to know how to achieve that goal so that you can achieve that goal. If that makes sense, which I hope it does. For me, one of my fourth quarter goals are to be consistent with content creation. Now, that doesn't mean just post more. My goal isn't to post more. My goal is to actually come up with content plans and a calendar and focus on the podcast, my personal branding, my YouTube, Instagram, Mackenzie's, YouTube and social media platforms. Like that's what I am that's what I want to achieve. That's a goal for me. Now the numbers I'm looking for to get monetized by December. I'm also looking to gain about 15,000 followers by the end of December. I'm looking to have that momentum to just keep going to now it's a part of my daily routine. Like now I actually feel like I'm getting into it because I'm properly planning. I know what I want to talk about. Sometimes I don't. Sometimes I just decide to throw another video in there just because something moved me and I want to sit down real quick and have a conversation with you guys. Obviously that's me being unscripted, but majority of the time there is something I want to show you. So like for instance, I know on the days that I'm doing the book, I know I'm recording so I can put all that information together. I know for Damn Daisy, when I go there, I know I want to show you guys something or bring something to your attention. You know, I just want to make sure that I have a consistent plan and I'm actually following it so that I can get to that point where I don't need to be so hard on myself. It's gonna get done. So that is one of my goals. It's just basically just being more consistent with that. And then because of that small achievable goal, by gaining consistency, the other things should fall into place. So I should be getting monetized. I should get the 15,000 followers on social media. I should be able to leverage my podcast account. Like that's basically how I'm planning it. So you want to make sure you have smaller steps to get to the bigger goal, if that makes sense. Let me know if that makes sense. And then speaking of the smaller steps, you want to create a game plan. Y'all know I love planning. Y'all know I have 1,000 notebooks for my plannings. If you don't have a plan for your goals, they're just dreams. That's exactly what it is. Like planning and writing them down, that's all cute and everything, but if you're not making sure that you have those those plans and you're creating the necessary steps to get there, like we just talked about for setting achievable goals, creating that game plan with those small steps, it's nothing. And then if you're not actually doing the small steps, you're just fantasizing at this point, and we don't want to fantasize about what our goals are. We want to actually live the goals. Like if you want to make $1 million, you got to do the small steps to get to the big goal. Like you don't want to just keep fantasizing about having $1 million. That's not going to do anything. And you can pray for it all you want, but I'm going to tell you, like I always say, and I think I said in a few of my videos, faith without work is dead. I live by those words, faith without work is dead. But I recently just listened to a sermon that was telling me in the book of Proverbs, there's a specific chapter and verse that talks about that. So yes, I know it says something about diligent hands and lazy hands for poverty, something along those lines. So yeah, I'm going to include that in the bottom. So also with your game plan, you want to make sure that you include like deadlines, time slots, and you take accountability. The way you can do your accountability is either just telling someone so that they can follow up with you, send that time to get a mentor so that you have someone that you have to like not report to, but they're definitely going to follow up to see what you're doing. That's a good way to with your game plan also. So once you establish your game plan, the next part of that game plan should be in the game plan is who is going to not hold you responsible, because you have to hold yourself responsible, but who believes in you and pours into you enough to make sure that they follow up with you with the things that you say you're going to do. You need to have that person. Everybody should have that person. If you don't have that person, then you need to get that person by getting a mentor. Point blank. That's just basically how we can do it. And then you also want to, one thing about me, and I learned this year, I want to say it properly. You need to be able to stay flexible and adapt to your environment and to the things that happen. So like I said, and I always say, you could take 2 steps forward and you'll be pushed 5 steps back. That happens. So you need to just be able to get back up and do what you got to do. So what I mean by that is you need to just stay flexible. For me, I have kids. For entrepreneurs, things happen. You need to be able to say, oh, I couldn't do that. I couldn't do my batch content creation today. They were sick and it was just too much going on. That's fine. I'm going to do it tomorrow. I'm going to double down, edit 2 videos so I still hit my deadline. Or you say, you know what? I might not hit my deadline. It might be pushed back 2 days, but at least I did the recording. So now I have to worry about is the editing and so on and so forth. Like you want to just make sure that you are staying adaptable and you're staying flexible because things do happen. And I don't really like this term, but I hear it a lot. Life be lifing. So when that happens, you just need to be able to take the punches and roll with it and do what you got to do. That's my opinion for that. All right. And then my favorite one is your mindset. You need to tell yourself that you are going to finish off fourth quarter. Or if you want to say Q4, quarter 4, fourth quarter, you need to make sure that you are saying that you're going to finish it strong. Meaning you are going to get done what you need to get done. You're going to achieve some type of goal. You set your achievable goals. You have the game plan. And now you're able to know that you need to stay adaptable and flexible. Now you're just making sure that you're saying, okay, okay, I am going to, like, I'm gonna finish off strong. Something's gonna get done. And I'm gonna create that momentum for the beginning of 2025, because once you start that momentum, right now it's the 3-month mark. Usually by 21 days, you technically have a habit. Let's say it takes you 30 to 60 to maybe even 90. But I really feel like by 90 days, if you're consistently pushing forward, there should be no reason when you go into 2025, there should be no reason you don't see results and you're not making any progress. It's almost impossible to not see results and not make progress if you're continuously pushing for that thing. Sorry, I keep thinking someone's in the house with me. I'm a little nervous. Side note, because I don't have my glasses on, so I'm that person, like, I think the blanket hanging up is a person. But yes, so anyways, you have to make sure that you are setting those goals. You're setting them to be achievable goals. You're creating a plan executing that game plan with an accountability partner, with someone to have that much interest to just be able to even follow up to make sure that you're doing what you're supposed to be doing, to make sure that those goals get achieved, to then making sure that you keep in your mind that things can happen and you are ready and you are prepared for something to be thrown your way, because you're going to be adaptable. You're going to be able to adapt and be flexible. And then you're definitely going to finish off strong, even if you don't hit that goal, knowing that you're working your way to that goal. Like, your conversation on December 31st or January 1st should be totally different than the conversation you have right now, because you have that momentum going. So that is my advice for you. All right. So I hope you enjoyed this video. I am definitely going to do a separate video specifically talking about my Q4 goals, just so that I hold you all to, y'all are going to be the people that keep me accountable. And I'm excited for that. I just wanted to set the tone for our fourth quarter. I hope that everyone enjoyed this video. I made it nice and short and simple. I hope that you took something away from it. If you did, please let me know. If there's something that I missed that you think will help somebody else, please put it in the comments. I'm so open to reading these things and hearing about everyone else's ideas. And if you enjoy videos like this and you have not joined my journey yet, please make sure that you subscribe and join the journey. All right, have a blessed fourth quarter. I'm super excited, and let's get it going. I'll see y'all soon. Later.